This is going to be one of those stories that I don't really remember too well, but I do remember being a huge deal. So I have to make a video about it. I'm going to do my best to describe everything in good detail. But like I said, it was a long time ago, and it was one of those things that you don't really remember too well. We went to a friend's house, we were hanging out, partying, whatever, drinking, this and that. We had mushrooms. They all decided to eat mushrooms while we were partying, slowly or whatever. And I don't like to eat mushrooms around people. I mean, definitely not around those people. Not to say that I was with bad people, but there was a lot of people that I just wasn't that close with. They weren't that, like, my tight group, which means that I don't want to eat mushrooms around people like that. I mean, obviously, right? I mean, for me, at least. I mean, I've done it before. I've done acid and mushrooms in front of strangers and with strangers, and most of the time it's fucking weird, and I don't like it. The awkward silence and weird interactions are just, ugh. It's the most awkward shit that you could ever deal with. Real quick, little side story. I could actually do a whole video on that chick. There was just this weird, crazy chick that somehow ended up doing acid with us one night, and she was the weirdest fucking girl ever. Like, running around, following us, being scary and weird, and she thought that she was just being, like, funny. She was being fucking weird. I'll do a whole video on that eventually. Damn, I haven't thought about that in a while. Anyways, so they all did mushrooms while they were partying. I said, nah, I'm just gonna kick it and drink. Drink. I got drunk as fuck to the point where I wanted to keep drinking after fucking 4:30, 5:30 in the morning. They were eating mushrooms and drinking throughout the night, so by that time, everybody was basically passed the fuck out. I was so drunk and sleep deprived that it was probably 5 or so in the morning. Sun was coming up. Everybody was asleep. I had a bottle of vodka. That's how you know I'm drunk, because I don't drink vodka. I can't even drink vodka mixed with shit. Like, I hate vodka. To me, it tastes like rubbing alcohol. It smells like I'm about to get a shot in my leg or some shit like that. This is the moment or the day that I learned that eating mushrooms or doing psychedelics while you're very, very, very drunk is very, very, very bad. Because alcohol makes you vulnerable. It opens you up and makes you weak, in a sense, especially psychologically, mentally. So that, combined with tripping balls and being sleep deprived and me just going through it at that point in my life. And when I say going through it, I mean like fucking going through it. Like, had no fucking idea what my life was or what was gonna happen. Monica was doing her thing, I was doing my thing. And it was a bad time to eat mushrooms in general. Anyway, so I'm sitting there, 5 in the morning, everybody's asleep throughout the house. I'm up, alone, by myself, drinking vodka, and I think, man, I should just eat the mushrooms I have. Because I had some, but I just didn't eat any. Fuck it, so I ate a grip. I ate a lot. Probably at least like 2 grams, 2.5 grams. I don't remember what I did after that necessarily. I remember walking through the house like a madman. Like I was psychotic, like I was trying to find something. And it wasn't even my house. I had only been there a couple times. And there was a lot of people there that fucking, I just did not know that like that. Anyways, I was walking through the house, going to the restroom, walking out, going to the garage, walking into the backyard, tripping balls. I remember I went into the backyard and I literally sat back there and just started bawling, crying. I just started thinking about everything going on in my life, everything that I haven't done, everything I want to do, the fact that I don't have a car, I don't have this, I don't have that, and sat there and started fucking crying. The girl whose house it was walked out, because I guess she woke up or whatever and saw me, was like trying to talk to me, and you could tell she was totally like weirded out by it. And she tried to talk to me, but she was on mushrooms too, you know what I mean? Like, it just, and this is the type of chick that doesn't eat mushrooms all the time. She was not like a hippie type chick who knew how to handle that type of situation. If you have a person who doesn't do psychedelics and is doing psychedelics and then sees some person crying, like on psychedelics, they don't know how to handle the situation at all. They get really weirded out. They say the wrong things. They don't know how to say things. I just remember her like trying to help and just making it worse and worse and worse. And I eventually told her, all right, I'm good. I'm done. Like, it's all good. And she walked in. It just got worse and worse and worse. The sun started, getting hotter and hotter. And I had no car, no means of going anywhere. I remember I needed to pick up my daughter in the morning. Damn, and I guess I didn't have a car, so I don't know what I was gonna do. I don't remember. I don't know how I was supposed to go get my daughter. I don't know if I was just gonna maybe even not pick her up. She was with her grandparents. I don't know if I was just gonna not pick her up like I was supposed to or what. But I remember thinking about that, like, damn, I'm on mushrooms, I'm drunk, I haven't even slept all night, I'm supposed to pick up my daughter in a couple hours. I just cannot do it. That's when it got worse and worse and worse. So I went from the backyard crying, tried to get my shit together, walked through the house, and I think I remember just wanting to fucking like run out into traffic or do some crazy fucking psychotic shit like that. And I walked to the front yard and I was screaming, I remember, like on the driveway with like on my hands and knees, screaming because I was just hurting so bad. Jesus Christ. I remember somehow ending up at the trash cans on the side of the house and just thinking like, this is where I belong. That's where I remember thinking, this is where I should be. And I literally, there was like 2 trash cans and then a pile of like boxes and trash on the side of it. And I remember just fucking tossing myself onto the box and just laying there and crying and in trash on mushrooms, drunk as fuck. Haven't slept all night and the sun is hot as fuck. And that was probably the worst moment ever, one of them, of my life. I remember just feeling utter rock bottom right there. And it was probably good that I felt that and went through that, because I remember after that I didn't do psychedelics for a long time. I don't even think I smoked for like a week. I made sure I got a car. I got on my shit a little bit after that, and it taught me a lot. On top of teaching me as all, the crazy life lessons and everything else that I learned, it taught me that I should not do psychedelics when I'm drunk as fuck and haven't slept all night, especially by myself. Which I recommend to you guys. If you're gonna do psychedelics, it's honestly okay to have like a beer or two, maybe even some wine, but you don't want to get drunk as fuck when you're doing psychedelics. It just doesn't mix well, not for me at least. But yeah, Jesus Christ, I haven't thought about that in a long time neither, especially in that much detail. I didn't know I remembered it that well. But yeah, that was probably the rock bottom for me. To conclude the day, the morning, that horrible morning, I woke up my friend, Tiffany, literally just my friend. I woke her up, she'd probably been sleeping for like 3 hours. Hey, Tiffany, I was like half crying, and I'm not the type of dude to cry ever in front of people. And we went and got Victoria. I hadn't slept. I think maybe I did sleep right there by the trash cans. Maybe real quick, I don't know. Tiffany was not on my level, so she was able to help me out a bit. She dropped me off at my house, my dad's house. And I don't know. That was that, I guess. It was one of the greatest learning experiences ever for me. Not only just psychedelic wise, but like I said, life experience wise. Like I grew a lot, and I deserved to be laying there in the trash cans crying like I was. I was a piece of fucking shit. I really was. I mean, I was not doing what I was supposed to do for my daughter, for my family, for myself, for any of them. So I think it's a good thing that it all happened. So I recommend eating mushrooms drunk as fuck in the morning after not sleeping and crying on some trash. You'll learn a lot. Oh God. Anyways, that was fun. Trip down memory lane. These trip stories, man. Alright guys, peace out.